So. And we are not back, because this is going to be the first one, but we're here.
Yeah, my partner would hate for anything to be not looked at on this podcast because of our other
My god,
podcast.
hold on, wait one second.
What'd you mess up?
I had a fucking I had the podcast playing in the background. I don't think that caught on. I don't think the mic picks that up, but it's playing in my ears.
Oh,
So
it's playing in your ears?
Yeah, I just had it on.
Gotcha, I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, no, so it's probably fine. We're probably good Gucci on that. This is the
We'll see.
the sports, talking about sports and pop culture one, I guess.
Yeah.
Special. Yeah, do a little bit of that. Do a little bit of this. Do a little bit of that.
Probably won't be as long. Maybe
No.
people like this one.
Clock it in at a solid 30 or 40, I guess.
Yeah, most likely.
But actually, do you want to know? Did you see that thing with Drake and Millie Brown before you get into sports?
No. What happened? I heard something about how, like, they text or something like that.
Yeah, I was just re-looking at that. Like, her, like, what she says about it. She's like, Millie Bobby Brown, who sounds like a black R&B singer's name. She, who's 15 and plays somebody named 11, was saying like, oh, me and Drake are best friends. Like, we text all the time. You know, it's like, he texted me the other day. It's like, I miss you. You know, and yeah, that face you had there is my reaction to that too. And it feels like that should be, it's not something I
should
see.
be looked into, maybe.
Yeah, right. Maybe somebody should look into that. Just
Maybe her parents should.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe consider.
Yeah. Well, like, she says, "Oh, we're just friends," but she's like, "Oh, he gives me advice on boys." Yeah.
Drake, just be smart, buddy.
He's no buddy of mine.
How about you not do
Yeah,
that?
I mean, yeah, right. Just stop it.
Yeah. Take the Mike Pence approach.
Yeah, well, dude, it's really weird. Like,
Yeah.
why are you texting this 15-year-old girl? Like, to say what exactly? And especially, it's like when you're.
But you have nothing in common.
Yeah, right. Like, you're just a fan of Stranger Things, so you like.
We're like, I'll text her.
Yeah, it's really strange. It's really strange, and although this is I heard this listening to somebody else, and this is not corroborated by me at all, so take it with a grain of salt. But like that he's done this before, where he's like groomed a girl, whereas like he was talking to her for like when she was 16, and then when she was 18, they started dating.
Man, that's creepy.
Yeah, that is creepy, right? Like, is
You
that
know
what
who
he's?
it was?
I don't know. I didn't get a name on it when I heard it. I just heard it as a story.
Man.
But like that's what people are saying. Like he's grooming her, because I mean I don't think he did anything with her.
I mean, I guess we'll see in 3 years.
But it's exactly. But it's also like the fact that Drake should at least be telling her like, hey, don't be putting that out in public. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that makes me look.
like
That makes me look very bad. Like I don't.
Right.
There's no way to spin that where he looks good, especially when the way she's talking about it, where she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we text each other all the time," and out of the blue, he just says, "I miss you,"
I mean,
and it's like she's like, "We went to dinner together like several times." Like,
yeah, with the other thing that you said, like, that does sound like really damning. The only thing that I could say before knowing the other thing you told me was like, maybe she was like a big fan, like, so he was being nice, trying to get like a little bit of publicity since Stranger Things was such a big hit.
yeah,
And he was just trying to be nice, and maybe they only did it like one time and she was just kind of exaggerating things a little bit.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's somebody made that point on. Like I was reading the comments, And somebody said that point where it's like, you also have to keep in mind that she has like a perspective, like, you know, she might use a word like, oh, we text all the time.
Yeah,
but
maybe she's just like fangirling a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like she's just excited to text him at all, so it could just be like they texted once or like twice or something like that. Like it's definitely something to consider. But even then, it's like, why do you give her your, like, you still shouldn't be. It's very,
yeah, that's strange.
It's very suspect. It's
for sure.
Yeah, it's stranger than Stranger Things. Like, I'm less creeped out by Gorgons and coming out of parallel dimensions to eat Barbara, like, than I am by that story. Yeah. I was just like, it's one of those things too where it's like everyone kind of like, it's like, you know, going back to like the Harvey Weinstein thing, not to kill Drake too badly with this, because it's not, you know, there's nothing been that way or the other, but it's like, it's just going to be one of those things where we're all going to make like, oh, we all know, we're all making jokes about it.
Yeah.
And then like, it's going to come out like in a couple of years, like that he did something like, it's like super creepy, and then everyone's going to act shocked.
Right.
You know, it's
probably.
like we're all joke, like, you know, it's like I see like people, like they do little jokes on Instagram about it, and like, you know, like, you know what I mean? And it's in the news. Like she said that like to a reporter on the red carpet, like, so we all know. And she's like, and she said something about it, like, hey, like, we're just like friends, don't make it weird. Like, but I don't think she's, I mean, you know, she's a kid. Like, she can feel like she is good enough for that, or like mature enough for that situation. But just the fact that like she brings it out in public like that and says says something like, "Oh, he said I missed you," like that just shows that like you're not really mature enough to understand how the way people see these things.
Yeah.
You know, like there's at least some level of not maturity about there, because I think because everyone instinctually hears that and goes, "Oh." You know, like, it's a weird story. And I just want that to be put in here, that this is going to be something that it might, in a couple of years, everyone's going to be like, oh, wow, I never would have believed it. Great.
You can archive our podcasts and know that we said something.
Yeah, know that we were on the case. And know that I never liked any of his songs.
Yeah. I just don't like Drake.
You know, actually.
This is the cultural podcast. We can say this.
I don't like Drake. He's no Tekashi 6ix9ine.
He's fake.
He's fake?
Yeah, like talking about how, you know, like, oh, you know, started from the bottom, all this shit. Like,
we here.
He is fake. He was a privileged little boy in Canada who got a show on Degrassi.
Pretty young.
Yeah. Like, that boy has never suffered anything.
He was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like a dick?
You know, some people today would say that was ableist of that show not to cast somebody who actually had to be in a wheelchair.
Probably would get something like that. There's plenty of crippled actors. Or handicapped
like Breaking
actors.
Bad, you know.
That kid...
I
thought that kid had something.
No, he did.
He did have something.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like
Okay.
He had cerebral palsy.
Okay, good. Because I thought I heard that, and then I thought I misheard it, and then I'm like, oh man, I was telling people that.
No, yeah, he did.
Okay.
He had cerebral palsy.
Well, if it's not true, write your hate mail to the other guy.
Yeah, at Breaking Bad. They did it, not us.
Actually, you know, I really like this. Is there any new songs you like right now? Any new music?
Any new songs?
Kanye's got an album about to drop. Excited about that.
We'll see if it does great. That means the culture's shifting.
I have to listen to Lil Wayne's new album too.
Oh yeah.
I gotta get on that.
I don't know. I respect Lil Wayne more now than I used to.
Yeah, what changed?
His politics.
Really? What did he say?
No, he just. It's more the fact that like he doesn't really give a shit. I guess was that like they interviewed him one time like about racism.
He said, "I'm a gangster, Miss Katie."
No, he's like, man, I never experienced racism. And he was like, when I don't remember what age he said he was, but he said he got shot one time, and he said when the officers broke down the door, like several black officers jumped over him and like went through the apartment looking for drugs and shit. Like he's like little kid, like on the, or not little, but like
A young kid.
Yeah, young kid. Shot, laying on the ground. He said a white officer stopped.
Wait, put it this way. Is he old enough for Drake?
I don't know. I have to watch the interview again. But, like, said that officer picked him up, carried him to the cruiser, drove him to the hospital. You know, actually berated the other officers, like, what are y'all doing? You know, this kid's shot. Picked him up, took him to the hospital, and stayed there, like, until he found out he was okay. He's like, so when y'all talk about racism, he's like, I haven't experienced it. And, you know, people berated him for that. And I was just like, man's, like, saying what he's experienced. Like, I'm sure other people have experienced it. He's saying he hasn't. Like, so that's still, you know, like, it's not saying that it doesn't happen. He's saying he didn't experience it.
Yeah. Kind of hard to argue somebody if that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
No, you experienced it. Yeah, you did. Sorry to let you know, little.
Well, he was talking about, like, when you look out, and he's like, when you look out into my crowd, I have plenty of black fans, plenty of white fans. He's like, I have all sorts of races in my crowd that are fans of mine, you know? So he's like, so I don't understand what you're talking about, basically, was his point.
I love that.
Yeah, that's great. Like, that's what we should be celebrating.
I'm gonna give the Carter 5 a listen this weekend. I used to really not like him. I used to really not like him when I was a kid.
Now his songs, I could care less.
No, you ever heard that song "Earthquake" by him?
I haven't heard that one. No.
That one's fire. That's the one that's it's kind of over the beat of "Let's Stay Together." It's like, I'm way more fly than you. Come on. I'll take your dime from you.
See, it's like almost like the exact opposite.
Now we want to spend all night with me.
See, that's why I hate Matt Damon. His politics. Like, so if you want me to like you as an actor, don't let me know what your politics are.
Yeah.
Like, because I can put on the disbelief and everything, watch you in a show if I know nothing about you. Like, you know, Bruce Willis, never heard him talk about politics at all. I can watch him and stuff. Matthew McConaughey, have no idea what he thinks politically. I can watch him and stuff. You know, like, those people, I don't care. But, like...
Gary Oldman.
Like, don't know what he talks about.
Yeah. I'm just thinking actors who I don't see do it. Daniel Day-Lewis. You just don't like him.
Yeah, he's a little out there for me. He's just pretentious.
Yeah.
I don't like pretentiousness.
Elijah Wood.
See? Like, I can watch him. I kind of laugh just because the Lord of the Rings. I can't really take him serious in any other role.
Yeah. Well...
That's that movie's fault, though.
That movie's fault. It's funny that him and, like, Sam being gay was, like, the big meme of that movie. People just, like man, funny. He was really looking at you. Oh, Mr. Frodo. Come here. It's your buddy Sam. Come here. No. Shush.
But, who else is out there? Talked about Alyssa Milano on the other one.
Well, wait. I'm just saying there's more music news. Tekashi 6ix9ine is dropping Stupid this Friday.
Didn't he get, like, put in jail over, like, having sex with a minor or something?
Oh, that just goes to show.
He's watching Drake too much.
That's what I was going to say. Just goes to show there's a double standard. You know, if you're Canadian, you can just come in here and touch our ladies.
Is Millie Bobby Brown from America?
No, she's Australian or something.
Oh, there you go. It's not happened to American.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
There are different rules in Australia.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's not right. You know, if you're in our country, you're giving us TV shows, we should be protecting you.
That's Australia's problem.
That's Australia's problem. Good luck, guys. You're gonna have to.
Y'all can fight a war with Canada. We'll let you.
Yeah, exactly. Australia versus Canada over Millie Bobby. Imagine that. Imagine like this was like the the Fran dude the Archduke Fran Ferdinand.
Plunges us into World War III.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
we got rid of the North Korea problem.
Like on the floor of the Senate, your rappers cannot be texting all underage women. Apologize apologize.
America would just
Screw
have
you.
to take over Canada.
Yeah. No, it's like, like they kidnap Johnny Depp and they execute him or something. Like,
Is he Canadian?
He's Australian. I'm saying
he?
I'm saying the Australians like kidnap him, like take him. I'm pretty sure he's Australian.
Is he? I don't know.
Fact check.
Johnny Depp?
Well, how about Hugh Jackman? They could take Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, he's definitely,
They can have Jim Carrey go and kill Hugh Jackman. And that will be like the thing that kicks off World War III.
Jim Carrey. See, like, I used to love his movies, too. I can't watch them anymore.
No.
Because he's ruined it for me.
Doesn't affect me.
Yeah, you're a better person than me.
Well, that's on record.
Johnny Depp was born in Kentucky.
Well, then what the fuck's he doing in Australia? Well, he got in trouble in Australia the other day. He's from Kentucky.
He got in trouble in Australia. So you assumed he's from Australia?
Well, like, he got in trouble, like, bringing a dog into Australia. So I'm like, I figured he lived there.
Well, if he got in trouble for bringing a dog into Australia, he probably doesn't live there. Because if he lived there, they wouldn't have gotten in trouble for bringing a dog.
Johnny Depp
he would have already been there.
Johnny Depp knowingly smuggled a dog into Australia. That was a story. Ooh. Like, they have apparently a law against dogs in Australia. I thought he was like bringing it to his house.
Yeah, they try to breed them with the dingoes and create a little bitch that bites at your ankles.
Yeah, well, you know what? I agree. No one needs more dogs like that. Totally down with the cause on that one. Yeah.
Australia. God.
John Mayer also has an album that I think he released this year that I just found out.
I respect John Mayer.
I like it.
John Mayer is a good guy.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if he's a good guy, but I like his music.
Yeah, he's got that weird like friendship thing with Dave Chappelle. Like, did you see that thing where like he's like opening? It's a cool thing that they're like friends like that.
Yeah.
Like they were like doing stuff on stage together. Where like he was playing.
He'd play for a little while, and then Dave would like do some comedy, and then he would play a little bit more.
He's apparently a pretty sick guitarist.
Yeah. He was in Dave Chappelle's show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did.
He'd go play the guitar like
the white. He did that at a barber shop, and they were like, "Excuse me, did you know? Shut the fuck up." He did it at like an office, and like all the white people are like, "Oh, they're going crazy." They're like, doing like the hippie stuff. They're like, taking off each other's clothes and stuff. Like, and they did it at a barber shop, and they were just not having it. Do you know? Shut the fuck up. Yeah, that's a strange friendship.
Yeah, very. I like it though.
Yeah, I do kind of like seeing those like weird like.
Dave Chappelle looks jacked now.
Yeah, he is. He's big.
It's crazy. Like, he used to be a toothpick.
Yeah, he just he took his he took his Comedy Central money, spent it all on supplements, went to the gym for 10 years, came out ready to do jokes.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, that motherfucker moved to Africa. He's like, peace out, bitches.
And then he started training with them.
It's crazy the stories that he was telling when he came back, like about all that stuff that happened. Like
Which stuff?
Like when people were calling him crazy and shit for leaving the show.
Mm.
But he was basically like, look, I didn't want to do the stuff that like they were wanting me to do. Like, and at one point he was like, look, every time like a black man gets like big in the entertainment industry, they try to put him in a dress.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he talked about that, and I was like, he started listing all the names, and I was like, damn, he's right.
He's got a point. Big Mama's House.
Yeah, Big Mama's House. Jamie Foxx, they put him in a dress on a TV show at one point. That. Like, it was strange, like the people that they were he was listing. Although I think they do that with most men. I won't say it's just black.
I don't know.
I think they try to demasculinize, or I don't know how you'd say that, but
emasculate is the way you would say that.
I think they do it just in general.
Well, certainly these days it seems like there's less and less of they definitely don't like masculine men.
Yeah. Well, they
They, the mysterious they, whoever they are, they don't like it, and they're not going to take it anymore.
Hollywood. Clearly.
I don't know. I hate when I start using words like that. Words that it's like, you know, who's they?
I think it's
They.
like Hollywood in general, the general scheme of things.
It just does not seem to be something that gets, you know, less movies are about like, you know, Mike Rowe type fellas. Like, I'm just an average day worker.
I like Micro. Dude's good.
Yeah.
I think more people should be like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm glad we got off on those topics.
Yeah. I'm just
drinking.
Yeah, I was just naming. Then we just started naming people and songs. Not even saying anything about them.
Johnny Depp's from Australia, people.
You know, Kentucky is down under from where I'm from. That's what the confusion was. It's down under New York. And it's sort of like the same thing. They both got snakes. You know.
Shut up.
And snakes and criminals, as far as I know. There's plenty of that.
Speaking of Australia... that doesn't work.
Yeah,
Nobody from Australia.
Is this the Conor Khabib fight?
Two different countries.
Yeah. Well, you know, Australia is somewhere near there.
Bunch of drunks that like to fight people.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They have a lot in common with Russians.
Australia is kind of like tropical Irishmen.
Yeah.
Or
hot Russians.
Hot Russians.
And not like hot as in like good looking,
Like,
but like
damn,
hot as in
these are some hot ass Russians.
hot as in climate.
Yeah.
People like fight and drink. Sounds like
Yeah. So
that whole group of people.
you know, going into this fight, who do you think's the favorite?
Who I think's the favorite?
Yeah.
Like according to who?
According to Las Vegas,
I don't know.
the odds-on favorite.
Khabib.
Yeah.
Really?
I think he is the favorite. I think that's kind of surprising.
It is surprising.
And also, you know, more people are going to bet on Conor because he's the name.
Yeah.
So that's a line that's being pushed. You know what I mean? Like, he's probably even less favored, or he's probably more of an underdog in this fight than even than the odds are saying. Right now, it's like 1 to like 1.5. You know, which is like, it's still pretty close.
I mean, I would figure it'd be a fairly even fight. So
yeah, I mean, like, I really, when I was looking at it, could have seen it going either way. I think the general thing most people are saying, and this is sort of the way I see it, where it's like, if Conor's gonna win, he's gonna have to like catch him like early with something.
yeah.
If you start like letting him go with you like 5 rounds, like, that guy's conditioning is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I don't think it'll make it that long.
Yeah, you think he's gonna knock him early?
I think so. If not the first, probably the second round. I would think he'll get his timing down.
Maybe. I mean,
look,
if he gets him on the ground,
crazy shit could happen. I don't know.
If he gets him on the ground in the first round, he's not going to have anything left in the second round. That's what I think. I mean,
Khabib?
Yeah, if Khabib gets Conor on the ground like early, like, I was just watching, like,
I don't know. Like, I was listening to Brendan Schaub talk about it, and I think like too many people think that Conor is just like some mediocre person, like on the ground. Like, and he's got people coming in to like help train him, because basically what Brendan was talking about was, you know who to bring in to train you to, like, you know how to train for Khabib.
right.
Because you know what he's good at. You can't really train for Conor per se. Is what he was saying. Which, like, I don't know if that's true.
I don't, well, because there's just more distinct in his style.
Yeah, because it's just, he has such an unnatural timing to, like, counter and stuff that, like, you just can't train for that.
Yeah, I mean, but there's things about Khabib that are, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, everyone kind of says, like, you don't really understand, like, what it's like until he's on you. And then then he's on the ground, and he's just like, I mean, you saw those videos of him wrestling bears as a 10-year-old?
Mm-mm.
You didn't see those?
Some weird Russian shit, I'm sure.
Still, I don't care if it's fucking weird. That's fucking like this guy is fucking tough.
These are probably not fucking ferocious bears.
You wrestle a bear.
Well, if it's those fucking weird ones that they like have around people all the time, like
It's still a big
doesn't
creature.
freak me out.
It's still a big creature. It's still a big, strong creature.
See, that's why like I don't like it's things like that that make me not like that type of thing. It's like you put that out as like a promotional thing. Like
I don't think
he wrestled bears.
No,
Like, I don't give a shit.
Not he didn't put out shit, dude. That guy doesn't care about nothing but fighting. Like I told you, he still lives. He still lives with his parents, for Christ's sake, and he's married. Like, you know, and he doesn't like he could be probably making, you know, millions of dollars doing something. I mean, he's like, you know, he should be a big like promote. Like, you know, he's fought 27 times in the UFC or whatever it is. Like, he's made some money, and right now he's in like a big title fight, and he still lives at home with his parents. That tells you this guy doesn't give a shit about anything. Like, you know what I mean? He's just a pure, like, born on a shack on the side of a mountain, like, and I just like to wrestle, like, and I just like to beat the shit out of people, and you know, like, I just like to fight. That's all, like, that seems like to be his only thing. Like, people around him, I'm sure, are doing all sorts of actually, I have something to tell you about that. I'm doing all sorts of things to promote it. I'm sure the UFC is promoting it. I'm sure, like, someone in his camp, like, wanted to bring that video to people's attention. I really don't think he gives a crap. Like, I really think he's just like, I think he's like a feral creature. Like, that's the way, like, I'm viewing him. Like, that's why I think he's gonna beat him, like, in this fight. I wanted to root for Conor. Like, I mean, I think I might bet on Conor just because I think he shouldn't be an underdog. So I think it's like a good value for a guy that's like a proven champion. Mm-hmm. So I'll bet on him, but I think Khabib's gonna win. Like, I really think he just got like that style. Nah.
I said meh.
Yeah. I think that style of just like I'm just going to keep coming at, like, he was I watched like 2 of his fights again last night, like the Johnson fight and the Barbosa fight. Like, he's just like chasing these people around the ring, you know. Mm-hmm. Like, there's one point where he's beating the crap out of him, and he's like talking to him. He's like, you know, I should win, just give up, and he's just like punching him like in the face in like the 3rd round. He's just like, I mean, that's like a mental. That's like
I mean, I think that constantly chasing is not necessarily the best way to fight Conor, who's he's known just for his counters. Like, he's a counter puncher. Like, that's pretty much what he does.
Yeah.
It's like, so constantly coming at him is just going to give him more opportunity to get your timing down, and, you know, I mean, it's going to be a close fight. Like, it's going to be great to watch. I think that
it's
so
coming,
far it's disrespectful to what, like, Conor has done, to how, like, one, making him an underdog, but also he's pissed off at the UFC too.
Yeah.
So, like, I think there's a lot for Conor in this, to where he's just pissed.
Well, you know, the things that sort of trend in his favor for me, for Conor in this fight, is one, you're right, I think he is getting a little bit disrespected. I like the fact that, if I were betting on Conor, I would like the fact that he didn't promote this, like, seriously. Like, you know, he just went into his camp, so, like, I'm going to train, and I'm going to fight, and I'm going to get ready, like, to fight, and that's it. I'm not doing all, like, you know, the fact that he's not around doing a bunch of, like, bullshit, like, press and stuff, like, that lets you know that he's taking this seriously. Like, he realizes what a beast he's going into the ring with, you know, and so he's taking it seriously.
And I think people don't realize that is... Like,
although that interview with him on Mac TV, did you think he was a little, like, cracky, like a little?
I mean, maybe a little bit, but like I told you, I think he was just done working out. Like, is what it seemed like to me.
Yeah,
he was out of breath, and, like, you know, it just seemed like he was kind of amped up.
Yeah, he seemed like, maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's just super jacked up for this fight right now, because he was, like, itching, you know, like he looked swole, he looked big, like he looked real strong.
Yeah.
But he was like, you know, like he's, you know, like touching his, like, hat and his arms and, like, scratching a lot.
I think he just worked out.
Yeah, it must have been it must have been something, because it was a weird interview seeing him like that. Yeah. But and he said, with all due respect to everyone,
fuck everyone.
Fuck everyone. Yeah, which was pretty great, classic him.
I think it's like, because, you know, I honestly didn't like him at first. because of like all the trash talk and everything. Like, because it just seemed like out there. I think it was the fact that like after he loses, you know, because when he lost to Nate Diaz and when he lost to Floyd Mayweather, I already liked him before he fought Floyd Mayweather, but like when he loses, like you can tell that all the hype, like all the shit he does is just to promote the fight. Yeah. He's good at talking shit, and he knows how to bring viewers.
Well, and it's also, though, it gets in the other person's head.
Yeah.
You know,
and he's
like,
just good at it.
Like, like, making somebody else, like, try to make the moment bigger, like, that's good. Like, that's a good, like, mental edge for you. If you can stay, like, you know, focused and present and, you know, like, sort of, like, relaxed but ready, obviously, then, like, you're in a good spot. But if you start to, you know, let the anxiety build, and now, like, Conor's bringing all this pressure on you, like, you know, now you hate him and you really want to get him, and just, like, you know, you start to get out of your game a little bit. Yeah. Like, he creates that atmosphere where it's like they're gonna be out of their game because, you know, it's like a fight with Conor is like everything beforehand makes like no fight you've ever had. And all like the crap that he says, like, you know, to you, and all the press comes in. That was going to be the other thing I said I think is in his favor. That Khabib's never been in a fight like that, like where it's like huge. A legitimate star and it's legitimately huge. Yeah, you know, it's going to be super.
It's gonna be a lot of pressure, man.
Yeah, and that pressure, you know, it breaks some people. But when I see his interview, like, he just seems like such like it. It seems like that sort of pressure, like, yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you going to put pressure on a dog? You know what I mean? It's like, the dog doesn't get performance anxiety.
I don't know. He just, like, all his fights.
He's he's just a feral animal.
I haven't ever heard of, like, because I'm not that big of a UFC guy, really. I just watch the bigger fights. Yeah. So, like, I can't say that I'm, like, a huge fan that knows all these people, but, like, never heard of the people that he's fought before, except for Barbosa. Hadn't heard any of the other people that he's beat.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Yeah, his track record. It
doesn't seem like he's fought that many, like, great fighters. You know? Like, whereas Conor has fought all the big, like, all the people that I've heard of before I ever even knew the UFC because of, like, I think there was a TV show called Bully Beatdown. Mm-hmm. Like, Eddie Alvarez was on it. There were several people on it that I've heard of. And then I watched the UFC, so I like heard of him after that.
Yeah.
You know, and so like he's beat those big name people. Eddie Alvarez. He's beat, you know, who's the other?
Nate Diaz.
He's beat Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Who's the Frankie Edgar?
Yeah.
Max Holloway.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's fought all the people that are contenders for the belt.
Yeah.
Both belts.
I mean, he definitely
fought Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, well, that's the thing I've always like. That's why I like him as a fighter. Like, I mean, I'm really excited for this fight because I like both of their like attitudes. Like, I like the fact that he's willing to put pressure on himself and like he's able to deliver. And I like the fact that he seems to be someone that's willing to go up or down. Like, you know, he's just willing to fight. Yeah. Like, he's willing to take on the challenge, like whatever it is.
155.
Yeah, he'll take on, you know, he'll do a different sport to fight, you know, Floyd Mayweather. Like, there's a challenge, like he's game, like he's game to prove himself. Like, I love that like mentality as a fighter. Yeah. And he's definitely fought more established names. Like, I don't think any of those other guys. I mean, I'm with you when it's like I'm more of a casual fan, but you know, from everything I've heard and from, you know, I mean, as a casual fan, you know who the big names are still. Yeah. And it's like I had heard of more of the people that he fought, like, but than the other way around. Yeah. You know? So I definitely.
Just one of those things. I think there's a lot of disrespect. I think the UFC's kind of screwed him a little bit, so he's mad about that.
Yeah, he's going in like with the good like mental thing. I just think like, I mean, I really just think the guy is just going to be too. It's just going to be too relentless. Like, he really dominates
I've heard
people.
it too many times.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Frankie Edgar's a great wrestler. Like, he won't be able to handle it. What'd they say about Eddie Alvarez? Like,
I don't
forget
remember
what they said about him, but, like, just all these people. Like, he won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
You know, like, they've just discounted him so many times that I'm like, It's just another one.
Yeah. Quite. It's like that's why I'm gonna bet him, even though I think the other guy's gonna win. Like if the other guy was the underdog, I'd probably bet him. Khabib was, but since Conor is, I'm probably gonna go with him. Because you're right, it's you definitely shouldn't doubt him. You shouldn't think that he's just gonna go in there and get embarrassed. Like he definitely has. He's definitely got like heart and determination to do it, and he's got like the right attitude for a fighter. Although I was hearing this crazy stuff about Khabib, like I saw this video explaining some of like the shit talking that Conor was doing to him, because I think like he was saying all these names that you probably never heard of and I never heard of, and I saw somebody breaking it down. Well, apparently, first off, the guy that's in his corner like was a part of a terrorist organization when he was younger. Like
Jesus.
Like a legitimate terrorist organization. And then I don't know how he got out of that, but like he somehow got out of that, and it was and now like I wish I could remember like the specifics of that, but like he's got that guy, he's got like he's sponsored by like this Russian like billionaire who's going like to prison like now for some shit. His name, the names sound familiar. It's like Nurmagomedov or something.
Yeah, he said Conor was saying something like now that he's going to prison, like what happened? Like now all of a sudden like he's wanting to fight or he's doing something. But yeah, I remember some of the shit talking. He called his dad a coward for some reason.
Yeah. I didn't actually hear the story about why his dad's a coward.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Yeah. But there's also the what would you call it again? Oh, there's also like these pictures of him with this guy that like this Chechnyan like dictator. Do you know that guy?
I didn't hear about it. No.
I mean, he's just like a brutal like dictator, like killing squads and the whole like rounding up of enemies and killing them, and like he created like concentration camps for gay people in his country.
Jeez.
Or something essentially like that anyway. Yeah. But total brutal the guy, and like Khabib was like with him, but like so was Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather at other points. These people are like what? I can't believe these people don't know. Like, did you see the Salt Bay was with the Venezuelan?
Yeah, because Marco Rubio tweeted about it. Said like y'all shouldn't go here. Like this dude's serving like these great meals to this guy while his constituents back in Venezuela are starving.
Yeah.
Like so I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, you see celebrities do that stuff all the time. They just totally ignore like the human rights record of like a guy because like, oh, give me money, so like
Yeah, like, I don't understand that.
It's
this is why I'd be a bad businessman. But like I'd say fuck off, like get out of my restaurant.
I mean, I would say like if I was Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather, like I certainly wouldn't want to be seen with some dude who's like a brutal killer.
Yeah.
Like just so I could hang around his palace and he could like show like I would not want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
Like not at all. I don't care about the money, like especially at their level where it's like it's not. That's like not make or break money. Like, maybe Mike Tyson like could use the money because he kind of like rose and fell, but Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like those are all like the people that are like associated.
I said, who knows? He might need the money too, as much as he has.
Yeah. He might need it now. I think he's coming back for another fight, right?
Yeah, versus Manny Pacquiao.
Why?
It should have happened 10 years ago.
I mean, they already fought. Didn't they?
Yeah, but something came out like Manny Pacquiao's shoulder, like he needed to have surgery or something on his shoulder, but like didn't want the fight not to happen, so like went in it with like a bum shoulder, and
that one's not going to get a lot of attention. Like I have no interest in watching Floyd Mayweather beat up on Manny Pacquiao again, but this time they're both 40.
Yeah.
They're both like 44.
The original one, I thought Manny Pacquiao did fairly well.
Even the original one, it was kind of it was past their primes, I would say.
Yeah, no, it definitely was.
So it's like I think
that's because of Floyd Mayweather.
No, I mean
that's why I don't respect him.
No, I don't.
It's because that fight should have happened so many years before, and he was too much of a coward to do it.
Yeah, that's certainly the thing I never liked about him. He was very methodical in everything that he did in terms of like his opponents that he selected and his fighting style, obviously. But that doesn't it doesn't really appeal to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like guys with fighter mentalities. Like I like
Yeah.
guys like. I mean, I like
He's a
Khabib
great
for that, and I
fighter,
like Conor
but
for
he's-
that. That's why I'm really excited for this fight. Like that's the way I want to see.
Yeah.
Even if Khabib hasn't like fought, I just don't know. Like, is the competition not there? It's like, how come his record isn't better?
Whose record?
Or like or Khabib's record in terms of
Does he
the
have
pedigree?
the belt now?
I'm not even. I think so. I'm pretty sure.
So he Barbosa had the belt
Let me
because
see.
that was his last fight, wasn't it?
no.
Who was his last fight?
Let me look it up.
Because they were talking about he was a champion. You know,
Yeah.
26-0 or something like
He is
that.
26-0. Al E Quinta. Al Quinta.
That's who he got the belt from?
Looks like it.
See, I've never heard of him. Like, I think, see, that's the other part, too. Just the disrespect. Like, they took the belt from Conor and gave it to, like, a nobody. And, like, you know, now Khabib has it because he fought somebody that I've never heard of. Like, you know, and I've heard of quite a few of the people who have the belts. Like, because they're bigger names. Who has the featherweight belt right now?
Hold on 1 second. I'm just looking at something.
Yeah, just dead air.
Sorry. Yeah, it was a complicated thing. So I'll just read it. A bout with Ferguson. Edson Barbosa was the fight, but right before this one that he won the championship. It was. Okay, yeah, sorry. So, a bout with Ferguson had been scheduled for the fourth time, expected to take place on April 7th, 2018 at UFC 223. However, on April 1st, 2018, it was reported that Ferguson had injured his knee and was replaced by Max Holloway. On April 6th, Holloway was pulled from the fight after the New York State Athletic Commission declared him unfit to compete due to extreme weight cutting and replaced by Al Quinta. So, it was like he was like put in as a proxy for the belt. This guy, Al Quinta. Only Nurmagomedov was eligible to win the championship as Quinta weighed in 0.2 of a pound over the championship weight limit. And then he dominated him, controlling Quinta from start to finish, and won via unanimous decision to become the UFC lightweight champion. So there you go.
Gotcha.
So he got it in a very weird way.
Yeah, see, like, that's what I don't respect. Like,
I mean, it doesn't seem like it was totally his fault, though. I mean, like, the guy had knee surgery, and
I
then
mean,
Max
if he
Holloway.
defends it, that's cool. But, you know, and he keeps it like against Conor. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
this will
that's
be
good.
legitimate for him.
Yeah,
Like,
if he doesn't, though, then, like, him having the belt didn't mean anything.
yeah,
To be honest. Like,
yeah, I'd agree.
because it looks like Max Holloway still has the featherweight belt.
Yeah.
Because that's the lightweight.
Yes. All right. Yeah, that was weird.
So they stripped him of both belts.
Connor, yeah, because I mean he hasn't fought in the UFC in 2 years.
Yeah. But, I mean, he said, like, they stripped it from him. They stripped the featherweight right after he won, or the day, really, of him winning the featherweight. So, like, he wins the featherweight, but before he can defend the lightweight, they strip it from him.
I think you have that the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah,
Lightweight,
sorry.
because he
When he won the
went up.
featherweight, they stripped the lightweight from him.
No, he won the lightweight. They stripped the featherweight.
So
He moved up
they
in
have
weight
him
class.
They have him in a different order then, because it lists it welterweight, lightweight, featherweight, bantamweight on Google.
What?
So Google's fucking up.
Well, he went up a weight class, is all I know.
So Max Holloway has the featherweight, which is before lightweight then?
Yeah,
Okay, well, they have them switched on here for some reason.
I'm pretty sure. Well, now I feel fucked up. Maybe it's, you know, I'm not on my brain isn't on its A game. I feel good. Brain,
It's not good.
not good.
I'm just saying, though, that, like, they stripped him of whatever his lighter weight belt the day that he won the other belt to try to make it where, he couldn't hold up both of them or whatever. And then they stripped the other one from him when he was doing the fight with Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. Well, either way, I'm excited for this fight.
Yeah. I hope he takes both of them back.
And I'm excited for the Yankees to win in the playoffs.
Well. Good luck.
Good luck. Thank you.
I don't know, the Red Sox are looking pretty powerful right now.
I ain't scared. Put on my hat. Wearing my hat. Feel good. This is my Superman hat. When I put this on, means you can't bully me.
I beg to differ.
I beg to differ. Shut it, nerd.
I was a child prodigy. So you get bullied sometimes when you're a child prodigy. Was he really?
A child prodigy?
Yeah.
Probably.
What was he good at?
He is a musical genius. I don't care. You can call him crazy. That guy is a...
Well, no. I mean, most people that are that high level at something are a little crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely, he's got all sorts of weird things with him about him. But
as a child prodigy, what was he doing as a child that made him a prodigy?
Just being a prodigy, man. I have no idea. Maybe he was mixing up beats in the kitchen. I've heard people say that.
Yeah, we'll run with it. I don't know. Anything on football other than my team being terrible?
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dead.
Terrible.
No defense.
So much.
And letting Joe Flacco look elite all over him.
Yeah. God, we just don't have a secondary at all.
Yeah. You said their line's supposedly pretty good.
The D line's pretty good, man.
They don't do a lot with it. They don't.
That was the problem. The announcers actually kept talking about it because the game before they were getting a lot of pressure on
Fitzpatrick,
and so it helped them with the they still let several things go downfield because their secondary is horrendous, but they were getting enough pressure to create a couple turnovers, get a few picks. And everything because of the pressure. They didn't do shit against the Ravens. They didn't. They kept sending stupid little 4-man rushes and letting them get beat.
If you have what you call it again, if I was a coach, see, this is why I like the way Bruce Arians coached. He
used to coach for us.
Yeah, Bruce Arians knew he knew how to leverage, when his team was bad, he knew how to leverage the most out of it by being aggressive. Yeah. It's if you're bad and you're not going to win just by playing a straight up game, then you should try to be making the riskier play call, blitz more, throw downfield more. Don't play it safe. You're not gonna. You know what I mean? That's saying I'm going against the guy who I know is gonna either beat the crap out of me. Then the best thing you can do is throw a haymaker, hope to catch him. Yeah. To go back to fighting. I thought that was smart, and I think that's why he was able to win. When he had for a few years in Arizona, they had some really before Carson Palmer was there and was decent. They had some very bad quarterbacks that he pulled off to decent records.
Yeah.
It's you gotta be blitzing more. It's why are you just gonna just let your guy your secondary is not gonna hold up, so just hope to get there, bring it home, hope it calls a fumble, get a pick from a bad throw, a tip pass, something. It's and if they beat you, they were gonna beat you anyway.
Yeah, I mean, because golly, dude, they get beat so bad.
Yeah.
I have no idea how it's possible how bad the secondary is.
Yeah,
coming from when we used to have fucking great safeties and great corner, or one good corner.
It certainly does not look like Steeler football out there.
No, not at all. It's just baffling. You put too much into the because Ben Roethlisberger's been great, but put way too much into that high-powered offense that hasn't been hitting as much recently, and it's just
Yeah, well,
Like, you don't win championships like that. You have to have a good defense.
yeah, they've certainly have they've invested their money on the offense side of the ball. I think that's a fair way to put it. I mean, quarterback's expensive. Antonio Brown got paid a lot, and that's why they're not paying Le'Veon Bell now. Like,
Yeah.
that's why that whole thing started.
Which is actually good. Like, this year's going to be rough, but I think they're going to learn that they need to cut a little bit on the offensive side of the ball, that you can win games without such a powerful offense, because a powerful offense doesn't always hit. Like, Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger have been off this year. They have not been producing like they normally do. Like, and, you know, like, you can get through games as long as your defense does okay. Like, Chicago right now is doing pretty good because their defense has been amazing.
Well, not even just their defense. Their offense last week.
Their offense has been doing good, but, like,
Decent.
even in rough games, their defense carries them.
Yeah, I think that's where right now the Cowboys, like, sort of our situation. Except I think our offense is probably doing worse than theirs is.
Yeah.
They've at least seemed to have a good coordinator. Like, you know, I mean, they looked good for at least a half against Green Bay.
Yeah.
They just who did they kill last week? Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I mean, Trubisky threw 6 touchdowns in
Oh,
the
you're
first
talking about
half.
Chicago. I thought you were talking about Dallas. I was like, I don't know
No,
if they
no,
killed
no.
somebody.
Chicago, we just beat Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good win.
Yeah, Chicago, yeah.
Although
Trubisky went off for like 6 touchdowns, though.
I'm
which is
actually more
crazy.
convinced than ever after watching that game that we just have no receivers.
Oh,
Like,
dude. Yeah, y'all are screwed. That was the dumbest. Y'all barely had a receiver in Des Bryant.
yeah, barely.
And when y'all cut him, it was just like Cole Beasley's your number 1 receiver right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And, I mean, factually true. Our number 1 receiver. And it's like, it's not that, what's his name? Dak can only be like a game manager. Like, he can throw it deep.
Yeah.
Like,
But he wasn't a great quarterback at Mississippi State is where he played. He was okay, but he wasn't great. And I don't know, he just doesn't seem like the more that I see it, like when you put a young quarterback right in, they end up becoming mediocre most of the time. I mean, I don't know. I could actually be very wrong on that, because now that I'm thinking about it, Ben Roethlisberger was
he went
fresh.
in as a rookie. It depends. It's like you have to put him in a situation where they can succeed.
Yeah.
You have to let them like.
Definitely did not do that with Dak.
No, Dak, he was put in a great situation, like initially. Now it's starting to fall
I was
apart.
going to say, he was put in a great situation his first year.
His first year, right.
But then when you take that away...
It's like now is like the line that was like so great is starting to like, it's losing a lot of its pieces. Like they lost their center. They lost, they lost a couple people off that line. That was
been affecting Ezekiel Elliott, who was a great running back when he had a great line, but he's not doing as much now.
Yeah, so
because that's what happens.
You don't have the line. You don't have
I think linemen are very undervalued in the NFL. Like, people pay ridiculous amounts of money for good running backs, but if you look at it, it's because they've had, like, there are freak running backs that are good, that should be paid more. But the minute you take away a good line from them, their numbers decrease.
Yeah, or a good line can prop up. Like, you need a transcendent talent to overcome like a very bad line, but like with a good line, you can make a lot of decent players look great. Like, I think that's why Dak looked great his first year. Although his second year's numbers weren't like crazy worse. He just had more
Des
picks.
Bryant, though.
Yeah, and Ezekiel Elliott
and Jason Witten.
Yes, and Jason Witten. Yeah.
So he had his dump off. He had the deep threat. They don't have any of that now.
Yeah, I mean, like,
they have Cole Beasley.
Cole don't call me Beasley. Yeah. He's definitely not like you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win far in the playoffs if your number 1 receivers are Cole Beasley and Terrence Williams. Yeah. Like, that's for damn sure.
Ugh, man. It's
All
rough.
right. It's getting near kickoff here, so you wanna hop out?
Yeah.
This is near an hour
Watch the,
anyway. We got it further than we even thought.
Nice.
I like talking sports. This is a sports cast. Fuck politics. All right.
I like both.
All right. Any parting
Just
words?
not together.
So let's get official predictions for the fight.
I've got Connor round 2.
All right. I got Khabib unanimous decision, but I'm going to bet on Connor because I'm an idiot. And I'll just ask you to predict, and how many games will the Yankees win?
Are they in a series with the Red Sox?
Yeah, they're in a series. It's a 5-game series.
5-game series. How many games will they win?
Yeah, how many? Because I know you think they're going to win, so you could just tell me how many and how many. Are we going to sweep them? Is it going to go to 5,
I
3,
think they win
1?
2.
See, that wasn't really one of the options. All right, I'll put you down for a series of 5. Win in Boston. Bold pick by you.
Here's my prediction. They'll win the first 2 games
Oh, God, that's gross.
and then lose 3 in a row.
That's gross. You know, it's actually the first time we played since that collapse. Boston versus Yankees.
What collapse?
Do I have to
Give me some fire.
You know what? That's it. That's the show. Do. Wah. All right. Peace.
Later.
Okay, and thank you for listening. Do you want to thank them?
No.
So ungrateful. If you would like to email us with suggestions or mean, hateful things, you can reach us at thedeadendradio@gmail.com,
Or at Dead Radio USA on Twitter.
where my lucky co-host will be insulting people he doesn't like.
Yep. But remember, if you send us bad things, I will come after you.
We're just instigating war. And that'll be at the end of all these. So now, just for God's sake, don't get us in trouble. All right. Goodbye.